This is Fabian Mora from Mora Marketing and Zero Point Business Technologies. This case study is going to cover a 12-month SEO project looking at obtain rankings and organic ranking value as the two measures. Now this is an interesting client because when they came to us, they had an existing site that wasn't ranking for any key terms, and it was such that the client already wanted to redesign the site and put out something new. So this is where we started with the client in November. You can see here they had 0 organic ranking value. Now through December and January was our site redesign process, and the results and the rankings that you will see starting off with an organic ranking value of about $4,000 in February, and then increasingly moving through the months. What you're going to see are the rankings that we were able to obtain when we take a new site and design it coming out of the gates in the structure that we see appropriate for its market. So many times we are redoing current sites and working within somebody's current portal, and oftentimes what happens is that it's more work to redo and re-optimize that whole section than it is just to create a new portal. So sometimes that is fitting, sometimes it isn't. But when we create a new site, this is the kind of rankings that you can expect coming out of the gate. And keep in mind that this was probably a year and a half ago, so these technologies that we used were very effective, but we've grown quite a bit since then. But I still wanted to show these projects as case studies of what we were able to do, how effective we were about a year ago. This gives you an indication of what we're able to do today. Keeping this information to the client somewhat confidential because it's about a year old now, so we've moved on from here. So moving down into the rankings, you can see that here that when we created this site, we actually, coming out of the gate, we were ranking #1 for their name. That's not too hard to do, but Traffic Survival School and Tucson Traffic School, Driving School, these are good terms, and we were scattered, in the first 10 pages of Google for many terms, as you see here. On down to the left or to the right here, you see the traffic attached to each one of these terms. So what we did on ongoing months was identify terms that had high traffic volume, analyze their position, and then went to work on creating main categories or silos of information to get this client ranked better. So here you see silo 1. It's this group of information we went after, these group of keywords, number of clicks per day, and the ranking that we were able to obtain for them within this 12-month project. Quite a bit of terms in silo 1. The second group of information, here it is, and here are the rankings that we were able to achieve for them, and the amount of clicks per day that were expected for this term. And moving on to the third category of information, which was Tucson based, and here's the group of key terms. Now moving forward with this project, obviously we would focus on bringing these terms up to results 1 through 5, because although this is cool, we got a nice blanket of key terms, we want to move them up to the page 1 of Google, Yahoo, and MSN. So moving forward, the last ranking report that we ran for this client, you can see here that for these long tails and some misspelled terms, but some very targeted key terms for their business, you can see that we laid quite a good blanket of key terms ranking on the page, results 1 through 5 of Google. We got about 30 keywords ranking on results 1 through 5 of Google, where 90% of the clicks are happening. And then you can see here that the results, they basically keep growing and growing. And again, I cut off the list on page 2 of Google, but they were able to acquire many more rankings on page 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which we would move up to page 1 through ongoing SEO process. So this is just a short list of about 60 keywords to show you a site that is coming out of the gate in the way that we build it, in the structure that we build it according to SEO and site architecture and link structure and all that. This is what you can expect. It was a new project with 0 organic ranking value. And through the course of, it was actually about 8 or 9 months, we were able to increase this to about a $30,000 organic ranking value, plus obtain all of these rankings that you saw down here. Quite a long list. Fabian Mora from Mora Marketing and Zero Point Business Technologies, signing off.